Are you looking for the best Sony camera for action shots? In this video we will look at some of the best Sony camera for action shots on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Canon EOS 90D. This is the best camera for sports that has a continuous shooting mode with up to 10 frames per second with absolutely automatic focusing and exposure. There's minimal noise when shooting within standard ISO range, but you can increase the sensitivity for poor lighting conditions when you don't have to view or print photos at a large size. If you're taking images at JPEG at ISO 51200, they'll have quite a bit of noise and can have green or magenta tones. If you reduce sensitivity to 25600, you'll get noticeably better results. There will still be quite a bit of noise, but the colors will be more accurate. If you set the ISO to its max standard setting of 16000, the images will be of really high quality without any significant flaws. Overall, I can recommend the 90D as the best DSLR for sports photographers who know how important it is to capture every moment. Photos are taken with minimal delays, so you never risk missing a single second of the competition. Recommended camera lens, Canon EF 70-200mm f/2.8L2 USM. This lens is good at taking dynamic photos thanks to the integrated focusing ring that uses a USM mechanism, which works quickly, accurately, and silently. If you want even more control over the shooting process, you can focus the lens manually. At number 2. Nikon Z9. The Nikon Z9 is a 45.7MP full-frame sports camera for professional photographers. It supports high shooting speed and allows you to take photos in 8K, which makes it one of the best options on the market. Until Nikon released this model, only 2 brands managed to create professional mirrorless cameras featuring a stacked CMOS sensor supporting fast readout. This camera can easily beat its competitors. These days, experienced photographers prefer using mirrorless models, which makes this camera an excellent option to consider. The Z9 is the first model of this type that comes without a mechanical shutter. Besides, it's the best Nikon camera for shooting videos released so far. This lens allows you to take high-clarity photos thanks to impressive sharpness from edge to edge. In addition, it minimizes distortions. You can take photos using a wide-open f/4 max aperture. Thanks to the newest stepping motor, it has a noiseless focusing system. At number 3. Canon EOS Rebel T7. If you are looking for a top-notch sports camera for amateurs, have a closer look at this device. Being user-friendly, it provides all the needed features for documenting sports events. Photographers specializing in this genre often opt for this camera because of its fantastic autofocusing mechanism. There is a 9-point focusing system that includes 1 cross-type center AF point. Thanks to such a number of AF focusing points, tracking a fast-moving object is a breeze. This is a huge advantage as sports photography is a subtype of high-speed photography. Though you need to capture motion, the camera perfectly copes with the task, providing you with detailed and sharp images. You can use this lens for many types of shooting including sports. It has a fast f/1.8 max aperture which will come in handy when taking pictures in low light conditions. Also, it handles the shallow depth of field well. What's more, you get near silent AF thanks to the ultrasonic autofocus motor. You can also benefit from polarizing and special filter effects since the front lens group does not move. At number 4. Nikon D7500. If you frequently photograph in challenging weather conditions and need a camera that can withstand them, make sure to try Nikon D7500. This Nikon camera for video and photo has a durable case, which reliably protects the mechanism from moisture. As it is a waterproof camera, you can use it for underwater photography. Another argument in favor of this camera is long battery life, so you can forget about constant recharging. 4K footage looks fantastic and can be output uncompressed over HDMI similar to the way it is done in other cameras in this price range. So, Nikon D7500 can become a good GoPro alternative. The menu is rather flexible, allowing for manual adjustments. Moreover, all buttons are conveniently located and there is a large ergonomic handle, so even if you work on gloves, controlling the device will be easy. All in all, this is one of the reliable video cameras for sports you can find this year. This model is among Nikon standard lenses. It allows you to take handheld photographs with maximum sharpness at a shutter speed that is 5 stops lower than normal. Its optics include 20 components in 14 groups, including 3 ED glass parts and a single HRI component. At number 5. Sony A7R Mark II. I consider this Sony camera to be the best one for sports action shots due to the picture quality it offers. The available sensitivity range of 50 to 100 and 2400 is very impressive. If you look at the RAW files produced by the A7R, you can see the amount of photo processing it performs by default. However, RAWs tend to have more noise at all ISO settings compared to JPEGs. If you use the default settings, the 42MP photos will look a bit too soft. That's why I recommend adding sharpness using the camera's settings in Photoshop or Lightroom. Photographs taken in dark conditions look amazing when using max shutter speed, 30 seconds, and the bulb mode opens up a lot of space for night images. This camera for sports has a dynamic range optimizer feature that allows you to capture more details from shadowed and highlighted areas without creating artifacts or noise. It puts together 2 pictures taken at different exposures and creates a single photo with a broader dynamic range. Sadly, it works only with JPEG images and static objects, so that you can embody any creative fitness photoshoot poses. Besides, Sony's improved and tested sweep panorama is also a fantastic feature that you can try. At number 6. Sony A92. The Alpha 9 II is one of the recent sports cameras released by Sony that is sold in a higher price bracket. It allows you to take 24MP pictures at up to 20 frames per second in a soundless mode. The previous camera in this lineup had similar capabilities, however, this model has more advanced features. Besides, it is not bulky, which makes it perfect for experienced photographers who take sports and action shots. Another thing that makes the Alpha 9 II different from the previous model is that it is fitted with an upgraded mechanical shutter which allows taking photos in burst mode at 10 frames per second. This will come in handy to those who often need to take photos without using the electronic shutter. The previous version supported burst shooting at up to 5 frames per second, which is insufficient for a camera used by professional sports and action photographers. Using this camera, you can count on a decent burst rate in different settings, while the previous model was more suitable for brightly lit outdoor locations. At number 7. Canon 5D Mark IV. This is one of the best cameras for sports that allows for taking sharp photos with well-saturated but still cool colors. Shooters can take noise-free pictures through the whole ISO range. You can also rely on this model while practicing football photography, soccer photography, and the like. Personally, I've never used the highest point of ISO settings, but if you do, then don't expect to get blurred photos. Even while shooting in all-purpose metering mode, exposures, which are weighted to the active AF point, are quite good. Moreover, taking photos in very high contrast conditions is not a problem for this Canon camera for sports. Tracking focus is also acceptable. You can only choose the given model for shooting moving subjects at 7 frames per second, but it is still a good selection for such photography. A circular aperture and the high-speed AF will help get brilliant shots with an accent on the subject and blurred background. The floating optical system neutralizes aberrations and provides brilliant imaging performance. At number 8. Sony A7 III. This camera brand representative can be used for sports action shots and it will impress you with good raw detail capture and brilliant speed for sports. The 24MP sensor allows taking photos with plenty of color stitching on the white on black texts. You can expect very clean and noiseless pictures even at basic ISO. As for JPEG colors, prepare to capture the scene in warm tones, including greens when switching to auto white balance and low light. You can make these tones even warmer if you use the additional automatic white balance setting. Context-sensitive noise reduction from the Sony A7 III is impressive and makes the camera the best on the market, especially in terms of raw photo quality. This full-frame camera allows taking photos without any indications of haloing on edges due to large radius sharpening. The parts with small details are accentuated well. This compact telephoto lens is an excellent choice for a sports camera due to the combination of small weight and impressive optical quality. It also features a constant f4 maximum aperture all over the zoom range and fast, accurate AF. At number 9. Canon EOS 1DX Mark III. This Canon camera stands out for its lightning speed, outstanding performance, and incredibly durable body. Its exterior design is similar to the EOS 1D series made 20 years ago. On the other hand, the internal components have been significantly upgraded. Although this double-grip camera is rather bulky, it acts as a powerful mirrorless camera in live view mode. However, keep in mind that you will need strong hands to hold it for hours on end. The EOS 1DX Mark III delivers output images beyond 8-bit JPEGs. The camera also includes an AF subject recognition feature. This option is based on machine learning in both live view shooting and OVF mode. Moreover, it has an internal RAW video option and some other handy video capabilities. The model can easily be called user-friendly as it has very simple switches and buttons. This is possible thanks to a new security slot for wire-type security locks. This lens will work well in any environment due to the dust and waterproof design. At number 10. Fujifilm X-T3. This Fujifilm camera has lots of impressive features that allow for taking detailed shots. Personally, I choose this camera for action shots for running competitions or something like tennis photography. Its great autofocus and an updated option for face detection play into my hands when I need to shoot speeding cars or running people in between taking portraits. You also shouldn't worry about noise as it is controlled well and remains acceptable at higher settings. Of course, a professional shooter will notice a small amount of texture at low ISO, but it is not very visible, so that it is a decent camera for beginners. RAW files are also well detailed at ISO 12800 but have little noise. This telephoto zoom lens helps decrease chromatic aberrations thanks to its optical construction. It has 21 elements in 14 groups, which include 5 ED lenses and 1 Super ED lens.